bulb above the screen door frame, burning through the shadows like a whispered patient name. Mama said she'd leave it on till the boy comes home, and she meant it even when the boy was out there on his own. The porch has got a rocker and a coffee cup gone cold, and a ticket stub from '64 still tucked inside the fold. The wind is pushing petals from the rose bush by the rail, sending them to dance upon the dusty county trail. I can see it from the ridge when coming down the road, a little flicker shining from the heart of that abode. She swore she'd never leave it dark, no matter what the cost, so a traveling boy would know the way to find the roads he lost. The Hendersons are sleeping and the barn owl's on its post, and the creek down by the Willow sounds a little like a ghost. But that porch light keeps on burning through the Oklahoma night, like a gentle kind of thunder and a soft familiar light. Oh, the porch light's always on, no matter where I roam, 100-watt reminder that my mama's heart is home. When the world gets cold and hollow, when the miles are piling high, I just look up at that little star and let the miles go by. Keep the porch light always on, keep the kettle on the fire. I'll be back before the winter puts the last spark on the wire. I was 21 and restless when I left that August day, with a duffel bag of nothing and a dream I couldn't say. I chased the lights of Dallas, I chased the Tennessee rain, I chased a kind of wildness that I thought would ease the pain. But the pain is just a shadow that goes with you everywhere, and the only thing that finds you is the love you left back there. So I turned the pickup eastbound on a cold November eve, with a heart too full of sorrow for a prodigal to grieve. I can smell the bacon frying from a mile before the yard, and the taste of Mama's biscuits makes the turning back less hard. She won't say a single word about the time I stayed away. She'll just pour me out some coffee and we'll talk about the day. The old black dog comes running with his tail a waving flag, and the porch light keeps on burning like a fireman's signal rag. I'll hang my hat up on the peg where Daddy used to hang, and the house that used to miss me will remember how I sang. Some lights are lit by wires, some lights are lit by prayer, but the one that burns for me is burning always, always there. So if you're somewhere tired and you've forgotten how to weep, just remember someone somewhere keeps a promise they will keep. A bulb, a prayer, a candle, or a watchtower on the shore. Someone loves you fierce enough to leave it on a little more. I'll walk up on that porch and I'll let the screen door slam. Mama'll say, well, look who's here, come in and get some ham. The world can keep on spinning, let the cities keep their noise. I found my way back home again to simple country joys. Oh, the porch light's always on, no matter is home. When the world gets cold and hollow, when the miles are piling high, I just look up at that little star and let the miles go by. Keep the porch light always on, keep the kettle on the fire. I'll be back before the winter puts the last spark on the wire. Yeah, she kept it on for 16 years. I never told her it was the only star I followed, but she knew. She always knew.
Well, howdy there, friend. If these old songs feel a little bit like coming home, come on back and sit a spell with us. Hit that subscribe button down below, it's free. And every week we'll meet right here on Dusty Road. Now let me fix you up another one.
His hands were rough as cedar, and his honest as the soil. 40 years of labor from the sawmill to the oil. Palms as wide as saucers, thumbs as thick as heavy rope. Working, building, fixing, never giving up on hope. I was just a boy in overalls with splinters in my skin, watching him repair a world that I was growing up within. He'd wink at me across the yard and point to where to stand, and the biggest lesson never taught was how to hold his hand. He'd carve my name in every board he laid across the porch. He'd steady me when thunder lit the dark night like a torch. He'd pull a splinter gentle with a pocket knife so sharp, whistling like a songbird plucking notes upon a harp. His hands could braid a horsehair rope, could dig a well so deep, could rock a crying baby boy to sound in perfect sleep. They smelled like pine and kerosene and 20-weight oil, and the gentle kind of kindness that makes a boy feel royal. Oh, Daddy's old hands, they were the map of who I am. Every callus was a chapter in the story of a man. They held a hammer and a Bible and a fishing pole at dawn. They held me when the world got far too big to carry on. I can still feel Daddy's hands when I'm building in the yard, and I try to make him proud of how I weathered and stayed hard. The day I watched him struggle just to tie a simple knot was the day I realized some things time will never let you plot. His hands began to tremble like the wings of baby birds, and the only thing left steady was the weight behind his words. He gave me his old tool belt with the loops all stretched and worn, and the pocket knife his father gave the day that I was born. He said, son, you gotta carry what I used to carry true. There's a dusty road of duty that is waiting here for you. I held his hand the morning that the doctor shook his head, and I felt the quiet thunder of the words the good book said. His grip was just a whisper, but the message was so loud. Be good to Mama's son and make your kin and country proud. He drew one final breath beneath the white hospital light, and the biggest hand I ever knew let go into the night. I walked out to the parking lot and wept against the truck, with the last thing that I'd ever touch of everything I loved. Some hands are made for riches, some hands are made for war. but Daddy's hands were made to open every righteous door. Now the toolbox sits beside me when I work the Sunday chores, and I used the very hammer that he used in '44. When the nail goes in a crooked way, I hear his gentle laugh. Son, the board will still be holding long after we're both past. Sometimes I hold my own son's hand and feel the circle true, passing down the gift of steady through the things we make and do. I look down at my weathered hands, so scarred and stained and brown, and I see my daddy living in the love he handed down. Oh, Daddy's old hands, they were the map of who I am. Every callus was a chapter in the story of a man. They held a hammer and a Bible and a fishing pole at dawn. They held me when the world got far too big to carry on. I can still feel Daddy's hands when I'm building in the yard, and I try to make him proud of how I've weathered and stayed hard. Yeah, Daddy, they still fit. The old tool belt still fits.
She had an apron made of cotton with a pattern of bluebells, dusted white with from the biscuits and the bells. Tied around her waist, she'd be conducting symphonies from the oven to the garden with the sweetest kind of ease. I'd come running from the schoolhouse with a question on my mind, and she'd untie the apron and sit down to take the time. Mama's apron strings were longer than you'd ever think could be, long enough to stretch from Georgia to the bottom of the sea. She'd wipe a sticky finger and she'd wipe a sticky tear with that apron full of wonders in the calm that I held. She'd tuck a wild magnolia in the pocket for my bride. She'd smuggle me a cookie when my daddy's back was wide. She kept the peppermints and pennies and the thimbles and the pins and the little wooden pencils where a school report begins. It was part Red Cross station, it was part a tabernacle too, and the altar of my childhood was the cotton worn and blue. Oh, Mama's apron strings, they held the world together tight, from the morning of the rooster to the prayer of candlelight. They were soft but they were mighty, they were weathered but they'd bind the family that she gathered in the wandering of my mind. I'd untie them one September when the road got in my bones, but her apron strings still reach me in the rattle of the phone. Humming in the garden while she peeled the morning corn, with the apron softly moving to the rhythm of the morn. Daddy'd come in from the fields and pat her like a drum, and she'd swat him with a corner with a laugh that felt like rum. The dog would sit beside her and the cats would circle round, and the whole of our small acres was the only world I found. She'd roll the apron up on Sundays to hold eggs from the red hen, and the farmhouse was the safest place that ever I had been. The day I put the duffel bag into the pickup bed, she came out in the apron and a scarf around her head. She said, son, you know I'm proud of you, you gotta find your song, but the apron's gonna wait for you no matter how you're gone. She tucked a $20 bill and a Bible in my hand, and a sprig of mint from what she grew behind the laundry stand. I watched her grow smaller as I drove the gravel out, and the apron waving softly is the thing I'm thinking about. She stitched me back together with a needle and a thread, when the world had nearly broken me and left me better dead. Now her apron hangs behind the door, still dusted and still true, and I press it to my face sometimes to breathe her all the way through. The scent is faded cinnamon and years of grace, and every time I hold it I can see her gentle face. My daughter has a daughter now, and cinnamon on the stove, and my wife wears an apron that her grandmother wove. The circle just keeps turning like a porch swing in the wind, with Mama's loving memory and the apron strings that bind. Oh, Mama's apron strings, they held the world together tight, from the morning of the rooster to the prayer of candlelight. They were soft but they were mighty, they were weathered but they'd bind the family that she gathered, and the wandering of my mind. I'd untie them one September when the road got in my bones, but her apron strings still reach me in the rattle of the phones. Mama's apron strings still tying up my heart, bless her soul. Mama's apron strings still tying up my heart, bless her soul. Mama's apron strings.
Under the weeping willow, where the creek bends to the east, we carved our names in the silver bark before the morning feast. The leaves came down around us like a soft and living rain, and I swore I'd always love her, and I'd always wear her name. Her hair smelled like a honeysuckle and the wild Tennessee pine, and the waltz we danced at dusk was older than the creek was fine. The summer of '58 was painted gold and soft pastel, and every evening brought us back to where the willow fell. I played her Jimmy Rogers on a $15 box, while the whippoorwills kept measure with the ticking of the clocks. She wore a dress of gingham with a ribbon in her hair, and the way she hummed along was like a whispered tender prayer. Oh, under the weeping willow, we were young and we were true, with the river sing promises beneath the evening blue. She said, I'll love you always through the sunshine and the rain, and we danced the country waltz beneath the weeping willow's rain. But the willow kept on weeping, and the willow kept on true. Well, the two of us grew old in ways we never thought we'd go. The draft notice came in autumn, and it tore our world apart. I kissed her neath the willow with a hollow in my heart. She wrote me every Sunday, she wrote me twice a week, until the mailbag stopped a letter that I'd never get to keep. A soldier's wife she never was, just the promise of a ring. And the willow kept on knowing all the songs we couldn't sing. I came home in the winter with a limp and half a soul, to find she'd married Johnson, who had taken up my role. I walked out to the willow where the silver bark still bore the names we'd cut together in the summer of before. I cut a piece of branches and I made a walking cane, and I've used it every evening like a witness to the pain. Some trees are meant for lumber, some trees are meant for shade, but a weeping willow holds the vows that couldn't be remade. Now the willow's grown so ancient that it's leaning toward the ground, and the names we carved together are the only things I've found. I take the cane out walking when the moon is full and low, and I hum the country waltzes that she used to help me know. She passed in the autumn and they laid her on the hill, and the willow keeps on weeping, and I reckon always will. Oh, under the weeping willow, we were young and we were true, with a river singing promises beneath the evening blue. She said, I'll love you always through the sunshine and the rain, and we danced the country waltz beneath the weeping willow's rain. But the willow kept on weeping and the river kept its flow, while the two of us grew old in ways we never thought we'd go. Under the weeping willow, I'll see you there one day. Save me a slow dance.
Mama had a navy dress with roses on the hem. Daddy had a brown wool suit and a black wide brim. I had a tie my grandpa gave me when I learned to tie a knot, and my shoes were shined with vinegar and spitting whatever we got. The Bible was a Gideon's, dog-eared every page, and we walked a mile to service in the dust and in the sage. Sunday clothes felt heavy, but they felt like something true, like a little piece of dignity in everything we do. The little white chapel stood beneath a cottonwood tree. Reverend Peterson preached salvation pretty faithfully. Miss Bailey played the pump organ, a little out of tune, while the summer sun was climbing toward a dusty country noon. We'd sing How Great Thou Art, and we'd sing in the garden too, and the harmonies would lift up through the open window blue. Mama held the hymnal and Daddy held my hand, and somewhere in between us was the meaning of our land. Oh, Sunday clothes, Sunday songs, Sunday biscuits on the fire, gathering the family to the pew and to the choir. Dusty boots traded for the black leather of the morn, rough hands folded gentle where the holy book was born. Sunday clothes don't fit me like they fit me as a boy, but the memory is tailored like a righteous lasting joy. After service we'd go walking by the river's gentle bend, with the preacher and his family and the neighbors to attend. Mama packed a basket with the cold fried chicken stacked, and the deviled eggs in paper and the pickles freshly smacked. The children played Red Rover while the grown folks sat and talked about the crops and about the weather and about the miles we walked. It was the simplest kind of blessing that a family can know. Sunday clothes and Sunday sweetness and the warm magnolia glow. The suit I wore to bury Daddy was the same one from the pew, a little tighter in the shoulders and a little less than new. I stood beside my mama and I held her trembling hand as the preacher spoke of glory in that sweet eternal land. We sang Amazing Grace together, though our voices broke in two, and the cottonwood was shedding like a silent falling crew. Sunday clothes for weddings and for funerals we've known, dressing up the biggest moments that our family has sown. The suit gets dustier each passing year by year, but the soul inside gets polished by the songs we hold so dear. Now my grandson slips beside me in a suit his mama bought, tying up a silver tie with everything I've taught. His shoes are shined with modern wax, his Bible is brand new,
but the heart beneath the Sunday clothes is still the same old truth. The little church has solar panels and a gentler kind of pew, but the hymns we sing together are the ones we always knew. Sunday clothes keep fitting, though the bodies change and shift, dressed up in our best for God Almighty's grateful gift. Oh, Sunday clothes, Sunday songs, Sunday biscuits on the fire, gathering the family to the pew and to the choir. Dusty boots traded for the black leather of the morn, rough hands folded gentle where the holy book was born. Sunday clothes don't fit me like they fit me as a boy, but the memory is tailored like a righteous lasting joy. Sunday clothes, amen and amen. See you at the door. Sunday clothes, amen and amen. So you were never gone.
It was written on the paper from an army surplus pad, in the shaky hand of William, my best brother and my lad. Dear Mama, dear sweet Mary, dear the people that I love, I'm riding by the lantern with the cold stars up above. The boys here call me Georgia 'cause they cannot say my name, but I don't mind the teasing 'cause they're family just the same. We eat from metal plates and drink from tin a little bent, and we pray toward the morning for the killing to be spent. Tell Daddy that I'm strong, and tell Mama that I eat. Tell Mary that her picture is the reason for my feet. Tell the dog his name is Ryder and I miss his muddy paws. Tell the preacher that I'm praying and I'm keeping all the laws. The hills here look like Tennessee if you squint against the haze, and sometimes in the evening I can smell your peppered stews. I'm sending all the pay that I've been saving for my bride, and I'm sending all the love I've got it deep inside. Oh, the last letter home was dated March of '53, folded like a promise sent across a stormy sea. 7 pages in a boy's hand, every word a quiet prayer, the last voice of a brother making music out of air. The last letter home is yellow now and brittle to the touch, but the love inside of it is still as young and still as much. I saw a cherry blossom and I pressed it in my book at a Korean railway station in a quiet little nook. I hope to bring it with me when I'm coming home to you, a little piece of springtime from a place so far and blue. The lieutenant says we're moving, says we'll see some action soon, but don't you worry about me, Mama, I've been praying to the moon. The moon up here is yours, you know it's the same one on the porch, and it lights me up the way your love has always been a torch. The telegram came Tuesday, just 3 weeks after the date. 2 men in their uniforms knocked quiet at our gate. Mama dropped the kettle and the sound rang like a bell, and Daddy fell into his chair like a tree the winter fell. Mary ran out to the Willow and she cried for 7 days, and the Western Union paper only said what Western Union says. But the letter came in April after William came back home, like a whispered ghost of promise underneath the closing loan. Some letters come before the man, some come after he is gone, but the words he wrote at night become the morning of his song. The letter's in a tin box on the mantle where it lives, with the cherry blossom pressed inside for everyone it gives.
Mama read it every evening till she passed in '69. And Mary reads it still sometimes, her eyes are getting blind. I keep it in the family, pass it down from hand to hand. A piece of William's spirit from a lonely foreign land. When my grandson asks about the uncle he has never met, I unfold the yellow paper and I read without regret. Oh, the last letter home was dated March of '53, folded like a promise sent across a stormy sea. 7 pages in a boy's hand, every word a quiet prayer. The last voice of a brother making music out of air. The last letter home is yellow now and brittle to the touch, but the love inside of it is still as young and still as much. Your loving son and brother, when you just a 53, folded like a promise, sent across a stormy sea. 7 pages in a boy's hand, every word a quiet prayer. The last voice of a brother, making music out of air. The last letter home is yellow now and brittle to the touch, but the love inside of it is still as young and still as much.
She put the peaches up in August when the summer air was thick, with the hot pine boards complaining and the cicadas going quick. She'd stand beside the counter with her hair tied in a twist, and the pressure cooker whistling like a mountain in the mist. Jar by jar she'd fill 'em up with syrup sweet and slow, lining up the winter like a dusty country road. Mason jars, a preserving kind of love, keeping August glory for the coldest months thereof. There were jars of green tomatoes and the pickled cucumbers too, jars of apple butter, jars of honey golden and true, blueberry jam and strawberry and the black raspberry fine, labeled in her handwriting in a looping country line. Summer 1962 read the paper on the lid, for the family and the neighbors and whatever storms we bid. The pantry smelled like sugar and the pressure of the steam, the sweetest kind of preparation that a country kitchen seems. Oh, the mason jar on the shelf holds a summer that is gone, a little glass of sunshine for a dusty winter dawn. It's a memory you can swallow, it's a sweetness you can keep, it's a love that she poured into you to hold you in your sleep. Mason jar on the shelf, mason jar in all my hands, tasting August and December in a cold and quiet land. She'd send me to the basement with a lantern and a list, for a jar of her tomatoes, for the gumbo and a mist. I'd stand among the rows of glass, the reds and greens and gold, like walking through a museum of the summers that she'd sold. I'd pick the jar she pointed to and dust it with my sleeve, carry it back up the stairs like something one could grieve. She'd crack the lid and hear that pop, the sound of kept intent, a little taste of summertime and every long advent. The year she passed in August, I found a jar she'd made, labeled for my boy at Christmas, tucked behind the marmalade.
I held it to the window and I watched the setting sun color the pickled peaches like the day it was begun. She knew that she was fading and she wanted me to taste one more summer from her garden and a love that never wastes. I broke the seal at Christmas with my wife beside the tree, and the summer of her kitchen came back alive for me. Some folks store their treasure in a bank account of steel, but my family's gold is glass and syrup sealed with love and feel. Now my wife puts up the peaches like her grandma used to do, with her grandkids making labels in their penciled scribbled blue. Summer 2019 reads a tape across the top, made with love by Grandma, please don't let the sweetness stop. The basement is arranged in rows like Mama's used to be, reds and greens and golds preserving what our summers see. When I'm gone, the jars will stay upon the pantry shelf, a record of the sweetness that a family gives itself. Oh, the mason jar on the shelf holds the summer that is gone, a little glass of sunshine for a dusty winter dawn. It's a memory you can swallow, it's a sweetness you can keep, it's a love that she poured into you to hold you in your sleep. Mason jar on the shelf, mason jar in my hand, tasting August and December in a cold and quiet land. Mason jars on the shelf. Thank you, Mama. Tastes just like you remember.
Teeth. After 30 years of chasing what was underneath, the neon on the window still said Rose and Missing E, and the rain was painting rainbows on the blacktop Lonesome Sea. I walked in with my hat in hand like I was 22, and the bell above the doorway rang a note I almost knew. Rose was at the counter just like she was in the past, with 20 extra winters and a beauty meant to last. Well, I'll be, she said, and wiped her hands across her apron blue, if it ain't the boy who left without a proper word or two. She poured me out a coffee from the pot that's always on, and the jukebox in the corner played a tune from 61. I sat down at the counter on the stool I used to claim, and she looked me up and down and then she said my given name. Don't tell me what you've been through, son, your face has told enough, but come on back to Rose's where the coffee's always rough. Oh, I'm back at Rose's diner on the corner of regret, where the clock don't move too fast and the time ain't over yet. Back at Rose's diner with a quarter in my hand, feeding all the old machines that help a man to understand. She slides me apple pie without me asking for a slice. She calls me honey like it's
just an old familiar vice. The trucker in the corner has the same tired face I wore the night I walked from Mary and I slammed that diner door. A girl with pinkish hair is staring at a payphone on the wall, and I recognize the loneliness in the way she starts to fall. I pay her for a coffee without letting her know who, and I tip my hat to Rose as if to say I've been there too. The diner is a station where the road and the heart meet, and Rose has been the keeper of 1,000 lonely beats. What happened out there, honey? Rose asked with a gentle smile. You look like you've been running for a very lonely mile. I told her about Memphis and the records that I cut, about the woman in Chicago who had slammed the final door shut, about the son I never got to watch grow up to be a man, about the dusty road that has its own peculiar plan. She listened like she always did, with patience like a saint. She never asked the questions that would make a good man faint. Sunrise when the rain began to slow. Rose refused the dollar that I slid across the show. The first cup's always free, son, for the ones who find their way back to where they started on a cold and empty day. I walked out to the pickup with my collar up and high, with a neon ROS burning in the Tennessee sky. I'll be back on Tuesday when the loneliness gets deep, 'cause Rose's Diner's coffee is the only thing to keep. Oh, I'm back at Rose's Diner on the corner of Regret, where the clock don't move too fast and the time ain't over yet. Back at Rose's Diner with a quarter in my hand, feeding all the old machines that help a man to understand. She slides me apple pie without me asking for a slice, and she calls me honey like it's just an old familiar vice. Thanks, Rose. I'll see you Tuesday. Keep the coffee hot.
Silas told me the story when the moon was hanging low, of the last train to Miller's Bend near 60 years ago. The line had been closing down, a victim of the truck, and the whole of the little station was a town of weary luck. But the company gave us one last run, a ghost of what had been, and the whole of Miller's Bend turned out to see it in old men. Brought their grandsons and the widows brought their prayers, and the silver engine shone like it was climbing up the stairs. The engineer was Jenkins, who had driven the route since 40, and his hand was steady on the throttle, though his eyes were soft and warty. The conductor called all aboard for the final time, and the whistle sent a message that was really just a rhyme.
Mama was a little girl on the edge of the wooden dock, waving at the windows with a handkerchief and a frock. Her daddy was a station master in his brass and navy blue, and the tears that ran down his cheeks were an honest country hue. Oh, the last train to Miller's Bend, she rolled away at dusk, carrying a way of life in a silver steaming husk. No more whistles, no more steam, no more baggage on the rack, just the echo of the iron and the silence on the track. The last train to Miller's Bend, she disappeared that night, and she took a little piece of us into the fading light. There were soldiers that came home on her, there were brides that she delivered, there were coffins in the freight car when a neighbor's heart had quivered. She brought the mail, she brought the news, she brought the Sears catalog, she brought the traveling preacher and the cookies from the log. She carried us to Memphis when the city was a dream. She carried us to Arkansas for the quilting bee and cream. Every mile she laid was woven with a story of a town, a steel and wooden ribbon that was proudly handed down. Silas said that on that final run the whistles sang a hymn, a gospel of the Iron Age that was growing soft and dim. The whippoorwill sang louder and the river stopped its flow to listen to the silver train one final time to go. When the red lights faded eastward towards the breaking of the day, Miller's Bend was never after what it used to be that way. They tore up the steel in '59, they sold it for the scrap, and a piece of our American soul got folded in a map. The engine is a memory, the tracks are ribs of rust, but the whistle of the last run is a sound you can still trust. Silas waits upon the bench where the station used to stand. With a pocket watch he whines for a promise and a hand. He says, son, the train ain't gone, she just found a different line. She's running through the starry night on a rail of God's design. When I walk the gravel ridge where the tracks once cut the field, I can hear a distant whistle blowing slow across the yield. Maybe Silas has it right and the last train's not so last, just moved into a country where the steam don't need the past. Oh, the last train to Miller's Bend, she rolled away at dusk, carrying a way of life in a silver steaming husk. No more whistles, no more steam, no more baggage on the rack, just the echo of the iron and the silence on the track. The last train to Miller's Bend, she disappeared that night, and she took a little piece of us into the fading light. The last train to Miller's Bend, still riding in my dream. All aboard, all aboard. The tank is 3/4 full and the radio's a mess.
just a preacher and a country song and static from the west. I've been driving since the morning when I watched the sunrise break over a Texas motel room, and that decision I should make. The road has got a rhythm to it, miles and broken stride, and the F-100 is humming like a pitchfork in my life. I don't know where I started and I ain't so sure I'll end, but I know I'm driving home from nowhere, heading for a friend. I spent the summer chasing something I could not define, from a rig in Oklahoma to the Arizona pine. I cut some cattle, I poured some concrete, I worked a country fair, and I paid some rent in motels with a made-up name to wear. I called my mama twice a month from phone booths in the rain. I told her I was doing fine and hoped to stay the same, but the truth is I was running from a thing I couldn't name, and the road was just a doctor with a slow and dusty aim. Oh, I'm driving home from nowhere on a Texas flat and wide, with the whole of my confusion loaded up and tied inside. The sun is coming up behind me and I'm aiming for the east, for a kitchen where they'll feed me and a family's healing feast. Driving home from nowhere, driving home at last, driving home to put the nowhere and the wandering in the past. I saw a dead armadillo in the middle of the road, and I tipped my hat to honor the hard armor that he showed. I passed a broken pickup with a flat beside the ditch, and I pulled over to help the fella fix a simple hitch. He gave me half a sandwich and a cold Dr. Pepper too, and we talked about the weather and the way the world can do. Sometimes the smallest kindness is a signpost on the path, pointing to the porch light through the scattered country map. The panhandle is endless, but it's beautiful and kind, with the windmills in the distance like a blessing on the blind. I stopped at a cafe in Amarillo for a meal, with the waitress pouring coffee and a gospel song for real. She said, "Honey, are you heading home?" with a knowing kind of wink, and I said, "Yes, ma'am, I reckon, after one more cup to drink." She gave me extra biscuits and she slipped me one to go, and I thought about my mama and the things I ought to know. Just a ribbon that you tie around a gift, and the gift is all the people that you're running always missed. By midnight I can see the little lights of Miller's Bend, the Henderson big farmhouse and the curve they call the Mend. I roll the window down and let the summer come on in, with the smell of corn and cow manure and the honest country sin. I pull into the driveway and I kill the motor dead, and Mama's on the porch already with the apron and the bread. I step out of the pickup and I stand there in the yard, and I'm driving home from nowhere with a heart that isn't hard. Oh, I'm driving home from nowhere on a Texas flat and wide, with the whole of my confusion loaded up and tied inside. The sun is coming up behind me and I'm aiming for the east, for a kitchen where they'll feed me and a family's healing feast. Driving home from nowhere, driving home at last, driving home to put the nowhere and the wandering in the past. Home at last, I'm home. Mama, it's me. It's made of walnut that my grandpa cut in '38 from the tree beside the barn that took the lightning at the gate. He sanded it and polished it and carved a country rose on the headrest where her silver bun would find its evening post. Grandma rocked my mother, and she rocked me as a boy, with the creak of that old rocker as an ancient quiet joy. She'd hum "I'll Fly Away" while I fell into a dream, and her hand upon my hair was like a blessing in a stream. She'd rock through thunderstorms, and she'd rock through summer heat. She'd rock while shelling beans with her bare and weathered feet. She'd rock beside my grandpa when his Parkinson's began, and she'd rock alone beside him when he passed off to the land. Grandma's rocking chair sits empty by the fire now, with the shawl she used to wear draped across the oaken brow. The creak is gone from evening, and the humming's in my head, and I feel a little orphan by the rocker of the dead. Grandma's rocking chair, Grandma's rocking chair, still moving in my memory like she's always rocking there. The last time that I saw her, she was rocking at a slow pace that matched the winter sun. Behind the kitchen window, she held my hand and whispered with a voice as thin as tape, "You were always my best story, and I'm grateful for the shade. Take the chair when I am gone and rock my great-granddaughter true. Tell her every creaking rhythm is your grandma loving you. Hum her "I'll Fly Away" and tell her about the garden rose and the way the summer evening smelled of honey and of cloves. So the chair is in my parlor now, a little stiff to rock, with the walnut oil and patient like the hands of a grandfather clock. My daughter had a baby, and I bring her to the chair, and I rock her just like Grandma rocked the babies everywhere. I hum the gospel tunes, and I tell the old familiar tales of the garden and the barn and the gentle country trails. The rocker creaks the same old sound, it's creaked for 80 years, and I feel my grandma smiling through the veil of gentle tears. Some furniture is just for sitting, some is just for show, but a rocking chair will carry you to where the loved ones go. I'll pass the rocker down the line when my own rocking's done, to the grandkid who will need it most when I am finally gone. I'll leave a little note inside the pocket of the shawl that says this chair has held us all Sit down when you are weary, rock your babies warm and slow, hum the gospel songs we love, and let the generations flow. As long as someone's rocking on this walnut polished seat, our grandma and our grandpa and the family are complete. Oh, grandma's rocking chair sits empty by the fire now, with the shawl she used to wear draped across the oaken brow. The creak is gone from evening and the humming's in my head, and I feel a little orphaned by the rocker of the dead. Grandma's rocking chair, Grandma's rocking chair, still moving in my memory like she's always rocking there. Grandma, I'll fly away. Grandma, rock on, rock on, rock on.
Mama lights the candle when the snow begins to fall, places in the window by the framed and faded hall. She lights it every evening from November to the spring, a little flame of watching for whoever's wandering. It burns for the lost sheep, it burns for the weary foot, it burns for every traveler who the winters turn to soot. A candle in the window is the oldest kind of sign that says somebody's waiting and somebody's mine. She lit one for my uncle when he went off to the war. She lit one for my sister when she moved to Baltimore. She lit one every evening when I wandered in the east, chasing reckless kinds of music and a hunger that was beast. The wick is always trimmed neat and the wax is poured just right, and the little orange petal is a map across the night. 1,000 tiny candles burn in farmhouses tonight, each one a quiet promise of a steady country light. Oh, the candle in the window is an old and holy thing, telling all the dusty road that a hope is on the wing. It lights the way for lovers and for prodigals to come. It lights the way for soldiers and the runaway and some. A candle in the window, just a little orange prayer, saying someone's always watching, saying someone's always there. My Mary lit a candle when I left in '64, though she promised it was nothing more than dust upon the floor. But I saw it in the window every night that I drove by, on the back roads to my drinking, with a lonesome kind of cry. She never tried to stop me, she just kept the candle lit through the changes in the distance and the winters bit by bit. When I finally came back sober with my hat between my hands. The candle was still burning in the little window stands. My grandson asked me why I still light candles every night in the window of the farmhouse when the days get short of light. I told him, son, your grandma started this a while ago for the people on the dusty road who needed some to know. The road out there is longer than the porch light can reach, and a candle is a gentle kind of patience and a speech. There's always someone wandering, there's always someone lost, and a candle in the window says a journey's worth the cost. When the darkness gets too heavy and the dusty road is long, a single flame can carry you the whole way of the song. So if you're reading this at midnight with the whole world fast asleep, and your own road has been lonely and the promises won't keep, look for a little window with a candle flickering soft. It could be 100 yards away, it could be a far-off loft. Walk toward the little glow and let the wind push at your back. Somebody's waiting for you with a coffee on the track. The candle in the window has been burning since the start, for the traveler, for the stranger, for the weary homesick heart. Oh, the candle in the window is an old and holy thing, telling all the dusty road that a hope is on the wing. It lights the way for lovers and for prodigals to come. It lights the way for soldiers and the runaway and some. A candle in the window, just a little orange prayer, saying someone's always watching, saying someone's always there. Mama, I see the candle from the ridge tonight. I'm coming, Mama. Keep it burning just a little longer. I'm almost home.